Hello, everybody. Happy Friday night. Welcome to my Zen Den. I am so happy that you are here with me. My name is Mandy Van Havermet, and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up from Great Eagle, Minnesota. So tonight I am going to, can you believe tomorrow is March already? It is the last day of February today. I cannot believe that is the last day of February. March is a great month, and I want to just go over the in colors. The in colors from, let's see here, 2023 to 2025. I have to think about that. Every year, Stampin' Up releases a set of 5 in colors. And when they introduce a set of 5 new in colors, those set of 5 stick around for 2 years and then they retire. So coming up in the next annual catalog, which is going to be released at the beginning of May to the public, but we're going, as a demonstrator, I'm going to see it here in March, which is really exciting. We're going to see our new in colors. So what that means, though, is that 5 of our in colors are retiring at the beginning of May also. So there's always a rush to get stock up on all your in colors and things like that before they retire, because they will run out. Chances are really, really good that they're going to run out. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we are going to stamp. I'm going to be using the Wildly Flowering stamp set and designer series paper, but I'm going to talk about the in colors and the ones that will be going away here at the beginning of May. So let's flip the camera around and get stamping. I'm going to do this right this time. There it is. All right. All right, so there's our beautiful in colors that will be going away. And I will go over them in just a second. We've got Boho Blue. Every time, why am I doing this? Set it up just a little bit. There we go. Oofty. The struggle is so real, guys. Okay, so we've got Boho Blue. See if I can get these glares off. There we go. Boho Blue, beautiful, beautiful blue color, kind of more of a dusty blue. Pebbled Path. Not too long ago, I talked about Color Buddies. Pebbled Path and Gray Granite, perfection together. They are the exact same tone of grays, and the Pebbled Path is the darker of the two. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color. I am going to miss Pebbled Path so much. Wild Wheat. Wild Wheat, when it came out, I was like, why did they come out with a yellow like this? I love Wild Wheat. I have come to love, love, love Wild Wheat. It is in so many different designer series paper packs. It's so good. Moody Mauve. It's a beautiful, beautiful mauve color. We have nothing like Moody Mauve. So that is leaving. And then the other last one is Copper Clay. Copper Clay you think is similar to Cajun Craze, but it's not. It's more brown. See, Cajun Craze is a little more orangey. So that Copper Clay is kind of a more browny terracotta color. It's so good. It's so good. So those are the colors that we're talking about tonight. This is the card we're going to be making, only I'm going to flip-flop the colors around. So see, here's that Wild Wheat and the Moody Mauve, both combined so beautifully in this card. So what we're going to need is a piece of Early Espresso, 8.5 by 5.5, scored right down the middle at 4 1/4. I'm going to need 2 pieces of Basic White. Both of them are 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to need a piece of Wildly Flowering Designer Series paper. And this Wildly Flowering, here, I'll show you in the catalog. It is on page, it's in the big catalog. And it's on page 41. It's part of a suite. It's got all of the beautiful in colors in there, all of them. And it's such pretty paper, beautiful dies. This embossing folder, the Dashing Designs embossing folder, I've used it so often. And then of course the gems that come with. When you show a suite, everything you can buy separately or you can buy it all together. So back on to what our list is here. I've got a piece of Wildly Flowering Designer Series paper, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So just an 1/8 inch smaller than my white panel. I've got another white panel that's 2 7/8 by 4 1/8, and then one more panel of the Wildly Flowering that is 4 by 2 3/4. So This is the Wildflower Designs stamp set we're going to be using. Great font. I love the fonts. Sending happy thoughts. You've been on my mind. I think that's a great sentiment, and thank you. And then just some dandelion, kind of wildflower, kind of seed stamps. The dies are the star of this suite, or this set. Such pretty dies. It's, what is that, a hexagon, because there's 6 sides. So pretty, and they stack together so nice. I'm going to show you how I'm going to stack those together. So first things first, we're going to set all of this aside. I'm going to take this piece of basic white, and this is one of my favorite tricks in the world. We are going to cut out first. And what I did, I'm going to take these apart. What I did is I took 2 different dies. I took this die and I took this die, and I'm going to layer them together. So first things first, I'm going to line that up right on in here, just like so. And then I'll center that one. And there's a reason why I'm doing this. And then if you noticed, what I did is I took some of my Post-it note tape and I taped those right together. So I'm taping them down to my cardstock also. But what happens is those tape together, so when I run it through my cut and emboss machine, they're going to remain taped together. So if you want to make more, you totally can. It's a trick. I actually had them stored, if you didn't notice, in my case to tape together, because I like them taped together. So we're going to make our classic sandwich. Plate number 1, plate number 2, and 2 plate number 3s. If you ever get stuck on those, there are drawings and of how to cut and emboss each on these plates. And so we're going to stick it through like that and run it through the cut and emboss machine. And like I said, the in colors, the materials for the in colors always run out. The ink, ink re-inkers, the ink pads, cardstock. Cardstock is really pretty important. If you are thinking at all that you want some of the cardstock, probably get it in March, beginning of April. But once that last chance list comes out, everything always sells out. It happens every year, especially with these really popular colors. And these in colors have been so popular. They are fantastic. So I'm just gonna pop out. So what happens is when I layered my my dies together, this outside die creates this piece every time, and then it would have created a solid piece on the inside, which would have been cool, but I wanted a little bit of a border, a little bit different. So this is how my setup is going to be. So I'll put this back into my stamp case. This piece you can save for a rainy day, use it for something else. We're not going to use it on this card. This piece, however, I am going to use on this card because it is one of my favorite tricks. And remember, I said this I'm going to flip-flop. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put the wild wheat side on the outside. So I'm going to set that wild wheat right on there, just ever so gently. And so it just barely covers the tip of my white, but I love that trick because it's such a paper saver. And then we're going to use the Moody Mauve side of this page. So let's get adhering. Actually, let's stamp. Let's stamp first. Let's stamp first. I am going to be using Early Espresso and the Moody Mauve ink pad. And I'm going to be grabbing this little weed seed stamp right there. Whoops. And I'm going to grab the sentiment, "You are on my mind," or "You have been on my mind." How's that for correct? Ha! Okay, there's that one. And there's that one. So I need a piece of scratch paper, which I didn't grab. Oh dear. I guess we're going to use the back of this. Actually, there you go. You can take a peek at this. I went through the catalog and I found which designer series paper include these in colors. So while we're stamping, I could use this. Let's not mess up. Let's not mess up. I feel like I'm out of sorts today. Okay, so let's open our Moody Mauve. Let's open our Early Espresso. Let's stamp. Maybe that will clear my thoughts. Maybe that'll clear my thinker. Okay, we're just going to center that right in the middle. Just like that. Isn't that just the prettiest? That is just the prettiest font in the world. I love that. So neat. All right, and now I'm going to take my Moody Mauve. And the reason that I need a piece of scratch paper is because I want to stamp off a couple times. Because I don't want my image to be super bright, because it'll take away from the background. But I do like how that looks, how it just is kind of romantic. Then while I've got my Moody Mauve, we're going to stamp right up the side, and I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that a fun trick? How it just lightens up. So neat. I love that. All right, and that is all the stamping for this card. Let's go ahead and assemble. So I'll share with you that page that I had written out. There are a lot of designer series paper that include these in colors, especially that Wild Wheat and the Boho Blue. I think those were the two favorite colors for the designer series paper. But really and truly, all of these papers are just, or all of these colors are just phenomenal. I really, really am going to miss them. And I keep saying, I think I'm going to miss Wild Wheat the most. And then I think, oh, no. I think I might miss Pebbled Path the most. And then I think, oh, but I really use Moody Mauve a lot. And I really use them all a lot. I'm going to miss these colors. They're muted and they're earthy, and I just love them. So we're going to attach our piece of designer series paper just so there's ever so slightly of a border, white border around that piece. And then I'm going to attach that. And so there's a lot of layers on this card. I'm going to attach that right down to the front. Let's make sure I can open this. Oh, I almost had it backwards. And now I have it on the floor. Okay, so I can open it the right way. Yay. Okay, then we're going to center that. So beautiful, so calming. I love it. Okay, now I'm going to use glue, just because I'm only going to put a little there and a little here. Obviously, I don't have a lot left on this piece of basic white. That's okay, because it's going to get attached down and nobody will know. Nobody will know. I love that trick. And the thing about using glue, people ask me which kind of adhesive I prefer. I do almost always prefer this. However, when you've need a little bit of wiggle room, glue is really the best, because it gives you that wiggle room. If it doesn't set right away, so you can kind of smush the paper around. So, and now I'm going to adhere this. Like I said, it'll stay directly down like this. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I just love those color combinations. Which do you like better? See how different it looks? Just with flip. These are the exact same pieces of designer series paper, just flipped. I love it. All right, so now I'm going to grab some glue again, and I'm going to flip this piece, this edge piece over, and just teeny tiny little dot, maybe every other one. Don't get too generous with your glue, because otherwise you're going to have a glue mess and it's going to ooze out, and we don't want that. That's the trick with glue. A little tiny bit goes a long ways. And I'll hold it up to the camera so you can see. When I say a little bit, I've made a lot of this design of cards, and this is exactly how I've made it. I have not had one piece of this fall apart. It does not need a lot. So there you can see. I mean, it is just the teeniest, tiniest little bit of glue on each scallop there. So, whoops, there I just glued my finger. All right, so we're going to center it, and of course, it goes right up to the edge, almost, just like that. That just is beautiful and romantic looking. I love it. Now, another thing that is in color is the 2023-2025 in color jute twine. Comes in a pack of all 5 colors, 5 yards of jute on each spool. So you'll get a spool of each of the 5 in colors. This too will sell out, I promise. So I'm going to grab some of the Moody Mauve, and I'm going to tell you how to fix that coiling thing. We don't really like that. So what we're going to do is grab our snips, and just like the cheap party ribbon that you get, we're going to break those fibers down. The birthday or the wrapping paper ribbon, right? How you make the curls. We're taking curls out. Don't do this when you're near an open ink pad though, because I'm losing little fibers and they will get into your ink pad. But that breaks down the fibers a little bit, so it doesn't curl quite so much. It loses its curl. So what I'm going to do is just put a couple pieces of adhesive in the middle. And just like this, attach them down. Doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be anything in particular. We're making this, well, stay up there. There, that's good. Okay, now I'm gonna put some dimensionals on the back of this. When I find some dimensionals, here they are under my catalog. The struggle is real. I'm telling you. All right. So we're just going to put this right on top. So we're centering it so you can see that border around. Isn't that just, oh, I love that. Pretty. Okay, let's put our inside in here quick. And I do have fuzz everywhere. See, there's some fuzz. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. So just be cautious not to do it around, like I said, open ink pads, because that's where you're going to run into problems, where you're going to get little fuzzies on an open ink pad. So be mindful. All right. So there is our card. Which do you like better? Do you like the wild wheat in the background or the Moody Mauve in the background better? I originally did the wild wheat, but I kind of like that Moody Mauve too. I don't know. They're both equally beautiful. Let's take a look at some of the, and this is just the current offering that has the colors in it. The Take to the Sky, that's got, let's see, that's got boho blue, and that's got copper clay in it. Thoughtful Journey. Thoughtful Journey is that beautiful, it's a scenic one. That's got a lot of wild wheat in it. It's got a lot of boho blue in it. Wildly Flowering, which is this one, has all of them. That's the paper that's for this. The Regal Winter, that was with the winter catalog previously. It's still available on the last chance. That's got some beautiful wild wheat in there. Splendid Autumn has wild wheat, copper clay, Moody Mauve. Timeless Plaid has Moody Mauve, boho blue, I think Pebbled Path, and maybe some wild wheat. Storybook Moments has a lot of wild wheat in it. The Mixed Florals, I was really surprised by that. That's got boho blue in it. So the blue that's in the Mixed Florals, which is the new stuff that just released on the last online exclusives, that has boho blue. And Everyday Happiness, which is a scrapbooking set, that has a lot of wild wheat in it. That wild wheat, I'm telling you, check this one out. This is just a combination I thought was so unexpected, but so pretty together. That is just so cool. I love it. Anyhow, with the pretty peacock, I just love it. I could play color wheel all night long, I'm telling you. I love colors. So I am going to flip my camera around and say goodnight for the night. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I hope you get some stamping in, and I will be back here next Friday night. So thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.